Hey y'all, Louie here. Don't mind me. I'm just enjoying this amazing cigar. This segment, I'm actually filming alone. Michael's not here. Because I wanted an opportunity to have this quality time with you and to introduce myself to y'all personally for everyone that's new to our channel. But also to talk about something that I call my cigar love affair. So go on, get yourself a nice cigar and a really good drink, and I'll meet you back here. I'll wait. Hey, welcome back. You came back and joined me. I want to start this video by saying thank you to all of our subscribers. Thank you for liking and sharing all of the content that we have. And for those of you who are new to viewing our channel, we thank you and we welcome you. Like I said, this video I'm doing solo. Michael is not here. He is my best friend, my better half, and also the second half of the Lumi channel. And for both of us, we want to say thank you and we appreciate all the support that we've received thus far. This video is about, like I said, my cigar love affair. And a little bit about me. Let's see, where do I begin? I'm 50 years old. I am prior military. Actually, Michael and I both are ex-Air Force. We are Air Force veterans. We were in the military back in the 80s, y'all. Talk about dating back. 80s, that's a long time. We both love cigars, and it is truly a part of our lifestyle. And so our YouTube channel is dedicated to lifestyle, travel, and business. The travel part, we're kind of restricted on traveling right now, but we will provide you with some content of Southern Florida. We're new to Miami. We've been here about 3 years. We were from Los Angeles prior to that, and then prior to that, we were in Northern California. Michael's from the Bay Area, and we pretty much separately raised our children in Sacramento, California. We are empty nesters, and so we do business and live here in Miami. This is really our first time living on the East Coast for both of us, and so it's been a new adventure. So yeah, I just wanted to start off with that, but also to go into what the topic is, which is my cigar love affair. What is that? Well, in order for me to dig deeper into it, let me start with some of the questions that I've been asked. One of the questions that I get all the time is, when did you start smoking cigars? And what was the first cigar that you had? Now, I chose this specific cigar today because of the brand, but also because I love it so much. This is one good cigar, y'all. And it's very hard to find. But so let me begin by talking about the cigar. This one is the UF13 by Drew Estate. It is in the Liga Privada Unico series line. It was released back in 2013, and at that point in time back then, it was limited production. It's still really hard to find, and it's so good. I just can't help saying it's so good. Now, for all of my BOTLs and SOTLs out there that are watching, The wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf dark wrapper, which is amazing. You get a lot of the notes that I love out of the cigar. Oops. And then also the binder is a Brazilian Matafina binder, and the fillers are Nicaraguan and Honduran. And it is, like I said, it's very hard to find. You'd be really lucky to find it with an online retailer. And if you are able to find it, I suggest that you guys get it. But back to the reason why I chose this brand. Well, to answer the question of what was my first cigar, Michael had introduced me to cigars back in 2004. Now, I first started smoking cigars because more for business purposes, but then I fell in love with the community, the people, the culture. So when he had introduced me to my first cigar, it was actually an infused cigar made by Drew Estate called the Cohiba. Now, that cigar is no longer in production, so if you can find it out there, I mean, you'd be really fortunate to find it, because it was like over a decade ago that they stopped production, and it's extremely hard to find. But for me, at that time, in 2004, it was the perfect cigar for Michael to introduce to me to get my palate prepared for smoking cigars, because it was sweet. I mean, y'all know what Cohiba. So it had the flavors and the notes that I really loved, and so it was so easy for me to get accustomed to smoking a cigar, because it was something that I really enjoyed. And so fast forward 16 years later, I have really developed my palate to liking more full body, full strength cigars. Now, mind you, if it's overwhelmingly full, then I really don't enjoy it. But if it's a blend that is just that perfect blend of fullness in flavor or body and in strength, then those are the cigars that I tend to go to and purchase. Now, to really dive even deeper into my cigar love affair, the second question that I get asked frequently is, why do I love cigars so much? And I would say my answer to that question would be the people. The people really bring the community together. It brings the culture together. When you go to a cigar lounge, and for those of you who don't smoke cigars that watch this video, there's a certain something about the community of cigar smokers. It's very much, to me, it reminds me a lot of my years in the military, and how much I felt the camaraderie and the community, where people got along, and it was, you felt welcome. And so the cigar community made me feel that way. Every time I walk into a cigar lounge, you walk in meeting strangers, and you walk out as friends. You grow that relationship throughout the years because of this. That's one of the reasons why I love cigars so much. So really, the community of people. Now, throughout the years, Michael and I have developed relationships with a lot of the cigar makers that we just totally love and respect. We respect the passion that they have for the craft of cigar making. You can see it in every cigar that they make, how much they put their life into it. And so a part of why I fell in love with cigars is just that. The respect level that you have for the industry, the people that are at the factories, that roll the cigars, that grow the tobacco out in the fields, that blend the cigars and have a part of creating a cigar from start to finish. And so the relationships that we have with some of the cigar makers in the industry are very near and dear to our hearts, and we cherish those relationships. Great example, our relationship with Jonathan Drew began back in 2014 when we first started our Megaherb series. And Jonathan has been our #1 supporter and has truly mentored us and groomed us in the cigar world. Now, he has been a major factor of our lives, both personally and professionally. And so, we have a lot of loyalty to the Drew Estate brand because of him. But we love all the personalities and all the people that are behind it as well. And so it just makes it even that much more special of a relationship. Another brand that we have a love for, and it's because of the people behind it, is Roma Tabac. Skip Martin and Mike Rosales. Every cigar that they make out of their factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, are amazing. I mean, I'm a huge fan of their cigars because, one, it fits my profile perfectly, but I also love it because of them too. And so Roma Tabac is one of my go-to cigars, one of Michael's go-to cigars as well. Another one is, I love Steve Saka. A lot of times I don't get to the cigar events that he has. He does a lot of the cigar lounge events throughout the nation. I mean, he travels by car by himself from the east to the west and the west back, visiting cigar lounges, and talk about passion and the love for the industry. So yes, Steve Saka, amazing, and I love his cigars as well. One individual that we've met him years back at the IPCPR in Las Vegas, and that's Dean Parsons. Dean Parsons of Epic Cigars. Now Dean lives here in Miami, not too far from where we live. And so we've been able to develop a closer relationship with Dean since we've been here. And man, the passion that he has, and he started off working in real estate years ago and fell in love with cigar making when he went to Dominican Republic and started to learn the process and started to create his blends as well. And so Epic Cigars with Dean Parsons. Matt Booth of Room 101. Matt was our neighbor in Los Angeles. We lived in downtown Los Angeles and he lived about 7 blocks from us. Matt's passion and his journey of cigar making and working with different factories to make his cigars, you see it in all of his Facebook and Instagram posts and the love that he has for the industry as well. So yeah, Matt Booth. Another one is Jose Blanco. Now Jose is a professor. Everybody loves and respects Jose, but we have a personal relationship with Jose when we moved to Miami. And one of the first events that we attended, he was actually hosting as part of the EP Carrillo brand. That was 3 years ago. And so we met him and who we call Papa P and Renee Cardona there at his event. And again, this goes back to the community of people that we've met along the way. They have become family to us here in Miami, and we love them dearly. So Jose now works with the Fuente family in Europe. Sorry, y'all. Excuse the noise that's outside. You're going to hear jet skis and boats. Michael and I live in a condo that overlooks the bay, and so you'll hear a lot of noise in the background when it comes to jet skis and boats out on the water. So Jose now lives back in Europe with Emma, his wife, beautiful Emma, and is working with the Fuente family and sharing the Fuente cigar with the cigar community in Europe. And so Jose has been also that mentor for us, and we love him, and has been one of those people, just like Jonathan Drew, who has always had our best interest at heart. And so there's a very special connection that we have with him. And in fact, one of the cigars that is Michael's favorite is the Señorial. Now, Jose comes out with this Señorial brand that he owns himself. And he has this Lancero. Now, for those of you that don't smoke cigars, a Lancero is a vitola, which is a size and shape of a cigar. And the Lancero is a longer cigar and thin, very hard to make, very hard to roll. And he blended his cigars, and he does this release every single year. And so the Señorial Lancero is one of Michael's favorites, because that's his favorite vitola, favorite size and shape of cigar. In fact, Cuban Crafters here in Miami still has that cigar available. So if you guys have never had it, it's a very hard cigar to find, and it only comes out seasonally, once a year. Jose releases it, and Cuban Crafters has it. So you may, if you're not here in Miami, you may be able to call Aldo or Manny at Cuban Crafters and order it, and they'll ship it to you. So Jose Blanco is a major figure in the industry that Michael and I respect and have a dear friendship with. And another person who is in a brand in himself, but he represents a much larger brand now, is Sean Williams. Now, Sean was one of those cigar makers back in the day of when we first started our Mega Herb series in California, who supported us. And he back then had El Primer Mundo, which was the cigar brand that he started. You may be able still to see some El Primer Mundos out there. I've seen some people smoke it and post it online, so I know that it's still available on the market. So if you get a chance to see it, try it, buy it. Sean Williams had a lot of passion when he created that brand, and he's taken his passion and his blending skills to Cohiba, which is the company that he now represents. He is the ambassador and also the blender for the Cohiba brand under General Cigars. Now, Cohiba, for the non-smokers out there, non-cigar smokers out there, Cohiba is owned, produced by General Cigar Company. It is not the same as the Cohiba, which is the famous Cuban Cohiba. It is a Dominican cigar that General Cigar Company produces and distributes. And so Sean is the ambassador for Cohiba and also blends some cigars for Cohiba as well. And since he started blending for Cohiba, I've truly become a fan of Cohiba. He makes some amazing cigars. And so Sean is very dear to our hearts as well. He is a brother and has become family to us. And so we're very loyal to Sean and the Cohiba brand as well. So you have loyalties and you have brands that you are very, very close to because of the people that are behind it. And so those are just a few of the ones that Michael and I have very close relationships with and tend to buy whenever we're in a cigar lounge. So another question that I get is, are there women who smoke cigars? And my answer to that is yes. Now, I would say 15 years ago or 16 years ago when I first started, there were very few women who smoked cigars. Social media was not really available back then, and it wasn't as popular as it is now. I think social media like Facebook and Instagram has really brought out and brought into the community a lot more women who have found a love of their own with cigars. And you'll see it if you go to cigar lounges throughout the nation. You'll see more and more women sitting in the seats where me, when I first started, I was normally the only woman in a cigar lounge amongst all men. And so, now it's so great to see women, enjoying cigars like I do. Let's see. Another question that I get asked is, how do I love being a part of the industry? Well, Michael and I have always said that we don't feel like we're a part of the industry because we're not a cigar maker. We don't have our own cigar brand. We don't own a cigar lounge. We love producing events for the cigar industry. And I guess by that alone, we are a part of the industry. We started our Maker Herb series back in 2014, which now we have a trademark for. That name, Maker Herb, was brought to us by Jonathan Drew. He had used it at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival in Colorado. And when we told him that we wanted to do an event, he actually came up with that name. And he said, go ahead and use it, it's yours. And so years later, I think Michael was able to get the trademark for Maker Herb in 2018. 2018 going into 2019. It took us. So one of the great things that the Maker Herb series has actually done for me and Michael is for us to see a community of cigar smokers from all over the world and all over this nation come together to celebrate the industry, celebrate each other, celebrate the friendship that comes with the community and the culture. We were fortunate and blessed to have two people who flew thousands of miles in 2019 to come celebrate with us. And that's J-Lo. We call her J-Lo, but her name is Joanne, from the Philippines, where I am from. Born there, raised in the United States since I was 4. So she flew halfway across the world to come visit with us, to share the love of the community, to meet a whole bunch of people that she's been friends with on social media for a long time. And to be able to see them and meet them in person was amazing for her. And she came with another dear friend of ours, Mike Choi from London, England, who came across the pond to come celebrate with us. And we danced, we laughed, we smoked, we drank, we took a lot of pictures. It's just a huge celebration of cigar community smokers, cigar BOTLs and SOTLs, some retailers, and then also cigar makers. And it was just a great time, So with hopes that everything starts to heal with this pandemic and we're able to do it in 2021. So let's stay hopeful, y'all. Let's stay hopeful. Another business that we have that we started when we first moved out here to Miami. We took a break from it, and then we kind of got brought back into it when COVID started, when the pandemic started in March. And that's Tesoro Tabac. With that business that we have, we're able to, we call it treasure hunting here in Miami. We treasure hunt for cigars that are hard to find, that are name brand, legacy, international brand cigars. But we also find a lot of bundle cigars that are unbanded, that are extremely very good. And we've gone through and tasted a number of unbanded bundle cigars here in Miami, and we've selected about 5 or 6 different ones now that we've put into our collection for Tesoro Tabac. And we're able to get such a great price for it wholesale that we transfer that savings to our customers. And so we say that, you know, we have premium cigars at an amazing price. Most of them are under $6. So I'll place the website right here, tesorotabac.com, but I'll also leave the link in the description below. So I'd like to close with this, and I know this video has been long enough already, but I thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to me just ramble on about my cigar love affair. And if there's anything that I can do to influence anyone who is remotely interested in the cigar culture, the cigar community, one thing that I'd like to say is that there's a true friendship, fellowship, camaraderie within that community that is truly priceless. And for all the people that Michael and I have met along the way throughout the years, we cherish those friendships, and some may come and go, and that's okay too. But the one thing that brought us all together was this. And it continues to bring light into our lives because of all the people that we do have an opportunity to meet. Just amazing. I just love it so much. And so that's pretty much it, y'all. And I'm down to the band on this cigar. So let me take the band off. So yeah, I just hope that you guys have the same type of experiences that I have, that I've had within the community. And I just pray that the community continues to come together and continues to celebrate the fellowship portion of the culture. That social media does not put differences into our lives, that we can all be adults and have different opinions, but still come together because of our love of the leaf. And that's basically it. So I thank you guys so very much for watching, for your continued support. Please subscribe, like, and share our videos. We truly appreciate it, and really could not do it without you. We want to grow our channel. We want to continue to produce content for you all to enjoy, and we can't do it without you. So thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos and our channel. And so I say ciao for now from Miami, and Michael says long ashes and slow burn.